slash chat, not slash camp, episode 2. Seeing that last time I butchered that. So, we are here again with Alex, with David,
Hello.
with Jeremy, and we're going to go through, as always, with our introductions. So, we are going to start with Alex. Tell me what you've been doing this week and who you are.
Who am I?
Yes.
Oh, that's the hard part. I can tell you what I've been playing this week, but well, you know, I'm Alex, post Mesmeric. I write for Hardcore Gamer magazine and Pittsburgh Music Magazine. In the meantime, it's really just playing games, trying to compel myself to make videos. I swear, I'm gonna finish this video, or at least start another one, and probably never finish that. But what I've been playing this week, it's mostly been like last night. I swear, I spent a big 5-hour block just playing Skyrim because I finally got to Riften, which is this one city where I had like 10 quests directing me to somewhere around this city. So when I got to the city, I'm just cleaning up all these quests and just getting all this stuff done. And I joined the Thieves Guild, which is kind of bad because my pickpocket skill is extremely low, like really, really, really low. So every time I try to pickpocket someone, I get caught, and I don't get it, and every time. And the thing is, these people are so against pickpocketers, they will try to kill you if you pickpocket them. It's like, you pickpocket, you fail, and then they go, never should have come here, and they take out their dagger, and not just this one person, but everyone around them will start trying to kill you.
Even if they think the person you stole from is a douche, they still do it.
Yeah, even if they hate this one person, they will, and then the only way to prevent them to get them to stop me from doing that is the guard comes out, and the guard pretty much says, you've committed crimes, and then you pay off your bounty, and then everyone stops. And I'm thinking, that guard just frickin' saved me from getting killed by this mob of angry, pickpocket, Illuminati-hating people. I'm just like... But one other game that I spent a lot of time, I finally got Borderlands 2 started because someone gave it to me for free for no real reason.
Oh, there's a reason.
It took me... Oh, yeah, there's a reason. Giving me free stuff. Why does this person got to give me free stuff all the time? I mean, what is that...
Maybe I secretly knew that it was your birthday, even though I didn't know it was your birthday? Conspiracy.
God damn it. Kat's so frickin' nice. Everyone be nice to her. But not too nice, because that would be creepy. But, it took me a long time to get Borderlands 2 started because, for some reason, it would always freeze when you picked a class that was downloadable content, which means I'd have to go to the task manager and the task, restart Borderlands, and then sit through 2 unskippable cutscenes.
What?
And I'm like, Jesus Christ, let me skip them. I know the history of Pandora. I know that these people almost get blown up off a train. I don't need to see it 5 times. So I got that started. I just wanted to make sure I could finally get this installed and not have to go through that again. But one game that I just was sort of compelled to go back to was... I bought the Sonic Hits collection on a Steam sale a while ago, and it like has all the old Sonic games and a lot of the new ones. So you got all the Genesis games, you got CD, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Adventure. You even get the Sonic Racing games, the Sega All-Stars Racing games. So I decided I haven't played Sonic Adventure 2 in a while, so I'll play that. And I start playing it, and I'm like, this is great. And I go to the Chow Garden, and it brings me back to I have this memory of just abusing Chows. Just because the thing is, you have the hero side and you have the dark side. And in order to get a hero Chow, you got to get your hero character to be nice to it, or you can get your dark side character to be an asshole to it. So I'm just playing as, in order to get a dark Chow, I'm playing as Sonic, picking up the Chows and just throwing them into the water. and while they're drowning, you pick them up out of the water, and then you throw them again, and then you just keep throwing them, and eventually, at first when you're mean to the chows, they're like shivering in fear when you're around, but then eventually I got them where they just run screaming anytime my character would go up to them. They would just start going like, ah! And just running away. And I'm thinking, and I'm getting this perverse sense of accomplishment just seeing these little shits just. Ugh. And then I gotta be, and the thing is, you have two chows, and one I was trying to be hero, and one I was trying to be dark. I'm just being nice to the hero one, and being an asshole to the other one, and it's so much fun. And I'm thinking, am I the only person who likes doing this?
Okay, so let's see. This week, you were a jerk, but good, and you were pickpocketing and failing, and this is your gameplay of the week.
Shut up! Well, the point is, I got my hero chow and my dark chow, and, now I'm just kind of raising them normally, but and apparently people on YouTube have submitted videos of them abusing chow, and they get a ton of thumbs down. Like, you're horrible for abusing these chow, and I'm thinking, let them do it. I mean, it's tough love. I'm raising it right by raising it wrong. Okay?
Awesome.
So then I stopped and I got back to Skyrim. So that's pretty much what I've been doing: abusing chows and getting caught.
I feel like I must put a disclaimer to this. Do not attempt this at home with your kids.
Yeah, don't abuse children. They're real. I mean, chows. I don't care what you do. You can hurt them. I know you can potentially kill them, but I don't care about chows. Be nice to your kids. They are the future. They have your blood. So, for the betterment of all mankind, abuse your chows, not your kids, or your pets.
Yes.
Chows are not pets. You don't beat your dog. Don't attack your cat. Just be nice to them. Take out all your frustration on the chows, on the imaginary animals.
Okay, from that epic
the more
gameplay.
You know. Yep.
David,
all right, over.
My week
yes, David,
has been kind of interesting. Let's see, what have I been playing? I tried out Elder Scrolls Online. Didn't like it. I don't like it.
Really?
Yeah. I thought I was going to
what didn't you like about it?
I know that it's in like alpha, so there's some leeway here, but the combat system, like, it's kind of okay. I was given the impression it was going to be like all precise attacks. Like, if you have to do the attack, you have to aim it and whatever. All you have to do is like select the guy, just start clicking buttons, and it's just like, yep, I can look away and it's still going to hit him. It's
that sucks.
beyond easy. Yeah.
Because the other Elder Scrolls kind of demanded a bit of real-time precision to your attacks. So.
Exactly. And the whole time I was playing, I'm like, wow, I could really go for some Skyrim right now. It tried to draw too many comparisons to it. So I didn't like it that much. Out of game, my week's kind of been, same stuff on the weekends, my security guard work, dealing with drunk people.
That's always
some fun
entertaining.
stories which I won't go into. It can be really entertaining too, but usually if I come home saying, "Oh, tonight's shift was interesting," something bad happened.
Yes.
My job is supposed to be boring. If I come back saying it was boring, like, all right, nobody got hurt, it's good. Nothing bad happened. There's no,
The only time it's not boring is when someone is getting hurt. Okay.
or if something's happening, it's usually because you're having to do some first aid stuff, or there's like a fight outside, or you're throwing somebody out, or whatever. It usually involves someone doing something stupid. Pretty much.
That makes sense.
So we'll consider that a real life game.
That and my friends have been making me play a lot of League of Legends. And then when they figured out that I hadn't made a rune page or done my masteries, they freaked out at me for like a half an hour going, "You have to do these things."
What level are you?
All of the things.
I'm level 30 now because I've been playing a lot of games with them over like a long period of time. But this week has just been like every day, like 6 or 7 games. It's ridiculous to me.
The problems
that's
of
my
League
week.
players.
I know, they're crazy about this stuff.
Yep.
So crazy. Like they're all like ranked and stuff, and I'm like, I'm not playing ranked games. They're all gonna be assholes probably. That's my opinion of it, because people are really mean to me in League of Legends.
Aw.
That's competitive
it's
gaming.
alright.
I mean,
Yeah.
the guy on our team sucks. Why are
Yeah.
you doing that? Or something.
It's funny because they're like
really
all
what they
complaining. I'm
said.
like, all right, let me go support, and then they did. So I'm playing Janna and I'm killing people. And it's like support isn't supposed to do that. What is wrong with you? But there you go.
It's why you play games with friends and not
Yeah,
ranked
exactly.
strangers.
Exactly. But most of these people that my main person I know, Sherman, has been getting me to play with were strangers to me 2 weeks ago. Now they're kind of like friends, I guess.
Kind of.
But yeah, kind of like it's getting there. It's getting close. But yeah, that's been my week of gaming and real life and everything.
Nice. So, Jeremy, what have you been playing this week?
I too have large blocks of time dedicated to Skyrim. I'm sensing a theme here. Started a new character. I'm trying to do all unarmed. Not working out as much as I'd like so far, but that happens. A little bit of Minecraft here and there. Evening, work at the gym. Finish building the new equipment. I had to go for a swim and change one of the sump pumps at work earlier this week. That was fun.
A real life adventure.
Yes. I'm just glad
Can
that
you
my sister
platform?
listened. That's kind of what my job is. I'm teaching kids to play a real life version of The Floor is Lava. Swing off this, jump here.
There's
grab this,
a.
whatever
I
it
didn't know
is.
there was an imaginary version of that.
Well, you imagine, Okay,
Well, yeah, but you're playing it in real life.
yeah, I guess
Is
that
there
was
lava
poorly
on the
phrased.
floor?
There's not unless you
could
mean
be.
unless you mean real life, as in there's really lava on the floor.
No, just like traps.
Seriously, that's the best game ever.
Um,
I remember in college and people would play that.
except now, you're like 15 feet off the ground and playing that game.
Huh.
Nice.
It's
That
fun.
sounds like that's like grown up version of that game.
Yeah.
It's like the hardcore version.
It's like
Yeah.
it's Assassin's Creed or Prince of Persia in real life, basically, except without the stabbing people part. Just hitting them with
And the
Minecraft
going back in
swords.
time part. I would be much more willing to try something like that if I had a dagger that could reverse time if I fell.
Would be cool.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Would have been awesome.
Just finished putting in a human-sized pegboard for the kid to climb on, and so far only one of them can do it. So, got a little work to do with them there.
Not bad, playing real life platformers. So what have I been doing
As
this
if-
week, gameplay-wise?
Yeah, what have you been doing this week?
Yes.
Diddly squat. Sadly.
I'm to support you.
Sleeping and being sick. Knock it off.
I know. It's. I know.
Sick part. You can sleep if you want, because your schedule's always so weird. But
My inexistent sleep schedule. But no, like, was trying to do, like, again, with the grind from 1 to 50, and I couldn't even do that. My attention span this week, since I've been sick, has just been rock bottom.
You have an attention span?
Hey.
yeah, that's news to me.
Squirrel.
I do have an attention span, thank you very much. Ooh, look, squirrel. But But no,
She's in denial. She's in denial.
Are your feet wet? Can you see the pyramids?
yes.
Is your name Cleopatra?
No. That'd be a little weird. But no, I actually did get my external hard drive finally, so that I can start doing like Let's Plays because I didn't have enough storage for them. So probably after this.
What size was your hard drive? I mean, what size is your new external one?
4 terabytes.
Oh, that'll get you
Nice.
covered. That'll cover
Yeah.
you.
That'll do, big. That'll do.
Yep. So with that, I can get my gameplay footage up and going and more streaming. So, but yeah. So sadly, this week has been just playing the recovery game, which isn't very good when the healer is down. Not very good.
Physician, heal thyself first.
Yeah.
Things go to shit when the healer's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, seeing that we have actually like 20 new topics in this hat,
Let's get cracking.
let's get cracking.
Wow.
Why don't you just
We
start
got a lot.
cracking?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lots
What
of
a weird
submissions.
word, kraken.
Kraken.
That's not something you name an animal.
No, there is
Someone
one
apparently
Kraken.
did.
The first time I heard the word kraken, I'm like, that is such a made-up word. That is not a real thing. That's like some mythological term.
It's a sound, you know. They're just like, let's give it to that.
And it doesn't even crack. It's just, it's a giant octopus or a squid or whatever.
It causes ships to crack.
Oh, it's cracking ships. Okay.
Yeah. It's the cracking because the last thing you hear.
That's why people named it that, because it's the last thing
Yeah.
that they heard. And then someone's like, they just swim away, and they're like, I found this giant beast. What was it? What was it like? It was a giant octopus. Well, what do you want to name it?
Cracking.
Kraken.
Have you been smoking some Kraken?
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, Kraken.
All good reasons.
So
I love
on
the
that
way
note,
this joke has been going.
our
Yeah.
first topic is if you could have a superpower, what would it be and why? So we're gonna start with Alex. What would be your superpower?
Oh man, that's hard because it's like one of those "be careful what you wish for" things. There's always going to be a downside, and I'm like the Carl Pilkington to everyone else's Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant. I'm just like, I got to overanalyze everything. But I don't know. I've always kind of liked the idea of being able to heal yourself, not being immortal, because that never ends well.
So like Wolverine regen?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I like being able to just by command. If it does it automatically, you're eventually just not going to be able to hurt yourself, and that'll be like immortality. And then it'll be like a I have no mouth and I must scream situation, and that's a terrifying story. But I think just being able to heal yourself on command, if it was automatic, it would get out of hand. And I was thinking, like, some people are like, why don't you want to fly? And I'm like, well, flying is hard, and you're hovering above thousands of feet's worth of a drop. So I'd rather have my superpower on the ground. Although super speed would be cool.
You are the
But
Flash.
I'd say healing. Yeah, I'd like to be the Flash, but without the goofy costume.
No. If we're having superpowers, they're the most obnoxiously weird, off-the-wall costumes. Just to let you know.
There's a scene in like the Injustice game where you see the Flash on a computer, and he's like this. He's like typing at the speed of sound, and I'm like, that I could
Keyboard
use.
melts.
It would be great when I'm trying to write articles or just play
Keyboards
any kind
quickly.
of video game. If you're playing any video game with the light speed typing skills of the Flash, then yeah, I'll go for that. But I'm
Okay.
still going to say healing. I'm still going to say
Healing.
healing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, David, what's your superpower?
Okay, so like I said before, he kind of stole my answer. Like I want the no holds bar automatic healing of awesomeness. Cause I would do all the crazy shit then. I would be the guy I'm just gonna rush in and be like, I'm going first, tank, you know?
Leroy.
Yeah. I would go in there and just be like, I've never tried this before. I'm gonna try to lift this thing. Burning building. I don't care.
Wouldn't that
I'll
mean
kill
more
you.
like Colossus?
Do you mean
No.
more healing or not feeling pain? Because if you're
The
healing,
healing.
you're gonna feel the pain,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna heal because
But-
of it.
With all things, you build up a tolerance to it.
Oh, okay. That's a good point.
So eventually, it wouldn't be a big deal. I mean, like, speaking from tolerances to pain, I mean, I live with scoliosis on a daily basis, and it is to the point now where I don't give a crap. I don't feel it as much anymore. I don't have any medication. I don't need to go to the chiropractor anymore. I don't have a back brace or anything. You know, I just deal with it.
What
I've had
doesn't
it for
kill
so
you
long.
makes you stronger.
Exactly. Yeah, there you go. So I would love the no holds barred healing. That would be freaking awesome. I would rock that shit all day.
Okay, so Jeremy, what's your superpower?
I almost want to pick something else now because the last two people have said the same thing I was going to.
God damn.
Um,
Well, at least we all agree on the. Oh, at least we're all kind of in a consensus
Hey,
about how awesome.
Think about what my job
Wolverine powers
is.
would be.
How much fun would
Yeah.
it be to be able to get away with all that free running stuff and gymnastics stuff and not have to worry about injuries?
Yeah.
I would try some
That
truly
would be
epic
cool.
and crazy stuff.
Maybe we should all pick a secondary as well to change it up a little.
Because we all have the. Well, yeah.
You're making
My-
my
Yeah,
If
job
we
too
have
easy.
to.
My secondary would be Spider-Man's strength, also for this
Awesome.
same reason, because
Okay, cool.
I like flipping through the air. It's
I was
If
fun.
I
gonna
had to
say,
pick a secondary,
do you want the sticky fingers that like Spider-Man has that you can just climb on everything?
No, I'd rather have the super strength because I know a way to make the sticky fingers that doesn't require superpowers.
Okay, fair enough. I'm gonna be the oddball here and be like, I want. Now this is definitely one of those catch-22 situations because I kind of want like Xavier's powers of being able to just like tap into someone's mind and like. Obviously, you wouldn't freeze time, but you'd be freezing people's perceptions of it. So, like, technically, you'd be like mental mind games. But at the same time, I'm like, if I learned how to do this, I'd be hearing everyone's thoughts. And that
Yeah.
seems like it would be like a royal pain to be like,
Yeah, it'd be good to be able to turn that off.
Yeah.
But I imagine, like, when you first get your powers, you get no control.
Oh, probably not.
So,
Gotta learn it.
right. So I'm
This
like,
it just reminds me. It reminds me of that scene in that Flash cartoon with Ness from Earthbound, and he's like curled up in a ball on his bed, and his friends are like, "What's wrong with
What's
Ness?"
wrong?
He's like, "Oh, he walked past that strip club, and now now he's never been the same since." And he's like, "Everything. I heard everything they were thinking." Wait, it wasn't a strip, it was a porno theater or something.
but yeah,
Like-
so
It was something nasty.
It'll just take,
It would be
That would
good
be
to be able
awesome.
to turn that off.
It would just take a 5-minute
Yeah.
montage to learn how to control it. You'll be fine.
Oh, okay. Most superpowers.
That's what the movies have taught me.
Yeah. Someone in chat says that they would like to have the Night Stalker ability, the teleporting and jump time. That would be cool.
That would be
Night
pretty cool.
Prowler.
Yeah,
That's my secondary too, because it's just like
Night Stalker.
transporting anywhere. Just boom.
Yeah, but it's the thing of you have to see where you're going.
Oh, you don't have to. It's just a good idea.
Yeah, because then you get stuck in a wall.
Okay.
Just appear out
So,
of anywhere. Just
More,
like,
more specific would be like, have any of you guys seen Jumper, the movie?
Yes.
Anybody?
I've
That
seen
kind of
Jumper.
transportation. Yeah, that's
he's
the kind of
teleporting
teleporting
like
that I would want.
Jumper.
Yeah,
Wasn't it just
Crazy
Justin
teleporting
Timberlake?
ghost.
yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That's better.
I got the best one. I want to have Q's power from Star Trek.
Oh, that's
Gee,
more than power. That's like omnipotence. Awesome.
oh,
I'm surprised no one has
That's a
mentioned
power.
the greatest super.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that no one
It's
has
kind of-
mentioned the greatest superhero ever, Aquaman. Okay, I'm joking. No one likes Aquaman.
Well,
Seriously,
you know what? That
Aquaman's
might not be
powers are
true.
so dumb. If you play Injustice
One of my friends.
and if you're Injustice and you're playing as Aquaman, you can still get hurt by the tidal wave of water from the Aquaman stage. So he's still completely susceptible to water.
What?
Which, yeah, he's that bad.
That's bad.
Well,
That's
somebody
so
out there
bad.
likes it. 'Cause,
Aquaman's like
one of
that,
my
that kid that is so terrible, and you're just like, you can do it. We're praying for you.
Yeah, but then when you have a whale that's just like eating your face and it's just like, then you're like, oh, okay, I like Aquaman.
Yeah, it's like you got a big Tyranno shark this close to your face. Like, yeah, Aquaman's the greatest. Yeah, please don't hurt me.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Stay out of the
but
ocean.
okay, now consider this. If he controls is it controls water or controls those like sea creatures?
I don't know, both. I guess I don't know.
What about him controlling the water in your body?
Well, I don't know.
Why did the Bloodhound Gang just start?
Now I gotta
in my
think
head?
about that. Because if he could control the water in your body, he could just make your body explode because you're like 80% water.
Right? That's what I mean.
You can just make it circle.
Still be,
I don't
like,
know.
epic powers there?
Well, maybe.
I don't like the way you look at
He
me.
also has to be pretty strong.
Well, he shouldn't be called Aquaman. He should be called like Water Boy. Like Water Boy.
And be
Actually,
played by Adam
that sounds
Sandler?
like a sidekick. Yeah, it's like his sidekick Water Boy would speak like Adam Sandler did in that movie.
Yes, you bet.
Oh.
It's like, we need to summon this giant sea turtle to cover up this hole in the building, and Water Boy's just like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, go do it, Aquaman.
I got this.
Is he from Jersey?
Oh, okay,
Probably.
on to next topic. No, it's the topic.
This is the most fun I've ever had talking about Aquaman.
We could use one.
Okay, our next thing.
My camera just totally froze.
Oh, this is okay. Here we go. Music in video games, affecting gameplay or the pace of a game.
Oh god, yeah.
I know who sent
absolutely.
that in.
I
This
know
one's
who
for you,
said that. So,
Well,
Like, of course it affects the pace. Like,
Alex.
Yeah,
like
I
Epic
think
playing, people try harder, and
this was
Yeah, people like-
pitched to me by a friend of mine, and he said that he's curious about this because I just wrote an article for Hardcore Gamer like maybe a few weeks ago about how music in video games isn't as good anymore, or I didn't mean isn't as good. I said it isn't as memorable because everyone remembers the Super Mario Brothers theme. Everyone remembers this. Everyone remembers the Sonic theme. Everyone remembers even the Halo theme. And Skyrim has a very memorable theme. But even though music is more professionally created, you hear all these big cinematics and there's a lot bigger scope. But if you can tell the difference between the theme in Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, and Medal of Honor, then you need to stop just sitting around and just run for president, because that takes a superhuman amount of skill to do. And I think that we don't seem to have any of those really good things that we remember forever. I mean, as far as the last video game that I can remember that had a truly memorable, that when you hear the music you instantly think of the game, is Portal. I mean, that ending theme. The ending theme, right when you hear Still Alive, you think of Portal. And that's really the kind of thing I was making, is that we don't have any songs that you can instantly tie to the game. And I kind of miss that. That's why I just gush over Banjo-Kazooie and everything Grant Kirkhope has ever created. Because he was so good at that.
I have to intersect this for 2 seconds by saying
Go ahead.
that there are companies that know how to do this very well that still do this even to this year. Specifically, Square Enix. Think about the Final Fantasy music. with each new game, there's a whole new theme song that comes with it. And especially think about Kingdom Hearts. And they're pulling.
Oh yeah, I love Kingdom.
That's newer games. That's like, say, you're gonna still hear like Lightning Returns awful like start of that
everything.
Game. Like you're gonna hear it and instantly be like, yeah, that's Lightning. No.
Yeah, the Final Fantasy series is interesting because they've been doing that for so long. I mean, even if you go even up to Final Fantasy X and maybe even further, although I'm not too familiar with anything past 10, they're you know it. I mean, you can remember the theme to Final Fantasy VI, to Final Fantasy VII, all those, and God, Nobuo Uematsu, he's up there as one of the greats. I just think that music can contribute to it, and there are a lot of companies that are really taking advantage of using music in very intelligent ways. Like, if you guys have played Sound Shapes on PlayStation Network, that's an amazing game. Well, it's sort of a platformer. You play this little round ball, and the more items you collect, first when you're playing the game, the first item you collect, you just hear a beat after it, like a metronome kind of beat. And the more items you collect and the more things you do in the level, the more layered the music. You start hearing little rhythms, you start hearing little instrumentations, and by the end of the level, you got this big, huge, awesomely composed music theme. And the fact that what you do in the game contributes to how this music sounds, I'm like, that's cool. That's a way to make music important in games aside from just atmosphere.
Well, someone in the chat had literally just said one of the biggest things with music is especially in horror games. Such as those underground games like Slender, the 8 pages. At first it's more of a hide and seek style game until you pick up a page, and there's the ambiance / music starts, and it takes its effect on the player, making them react to the slightest noise, or they hear a loud bang. And in such aspect, I do believe that the music affects the gameplay and the pace of the game. So I can completely agree with that, especially with watching, what was it? No. They just made a new...
Amnesia?
Yes, Amnesia. And you listen to the game, like the music in the game, and it kind of like really sets you into the game where you're just like... your heart starts like beating like really rapidly because you hear this like creepy music, and then you're just like, oh, okay, something's about to happen.
There are fewer musical themes that are creepier than just a frickin' line of violins. It's all screeching.
For sure.
That's the scariest thing ever. I mean, Slender's loud piano chord is one thing, but when you hear just violins going crazy, like Psycho style, then yeah, that's a really smart way. Slender is... I'm having trouble getting on board with Slender because Slender didn't have so much music. I mean, just that loud piano chord when he appeared, I have trouble calling that music, more just a sound effect that sounds strangely melodic. But I completely agree that sound needs to have ambiance in survival horror. Some of the greatest survival horror games of all time have used sound effects extremely well. Amnesia's definitely one of them. Amnesia's freaking terrifying.
It is.
I know when we were working on Haunt, we had different sound effects depending on what we had going on in the room. And I think that carries over a lot to video games too. If you don't have those sound cues, I don't think it has much of an impact. Because you're appealing to the visual sense, but you need to appeal to the auditory sense as well, just to make it a little more immersive.
The interesting thing about... I think audio is actually probably more important to a survival horror game than graphics are, because, as human beings, we sort of interpret a lot of things with our eyes. Our sight is kind of our most dependent sense. But when you hear something, you're not seeing it, so there's kind of a sense of mystery, like you really don't know what it could be. And I think that all the great survival horror games now have been doing that. It's kind of a shame how Resident Evil and Silent Hill aren't nearly as good anymore. But if you look at things like Amnesia or Penumbra or other things from indie developers, they're doing it right. I mean, they're really making it work, and that's why I see so many. I don't watch PewDiePie or Markiplier or anything in that, but the fact that people love seeing horror games from them is really, it shows that there's a lot of horror games that aren't named Resident Evil or Silent Hill nowadays, and a lot of them are better.
Now, what if we switch it to the other aspect of things? Let's take, say, Legend of Zelda. Go that way of things. When you get into the dungeon atmosphere and you get into where you're actually like playing through the map and you have different like sounds per like travel per village, how's that like affect the gameplay? Like, does it make it like rememberable? I mean, especially I think for me, Ocarina of Time. The music implement in that game is phenomenal. You just want to run around because the music changes per location, and it's amazing music. What about something like that in a game, not based on like how it makes you feel in a horror game, but like the ambiance of playing something that isn't so and more adventure-esque?
Less
yeah,
atmospheric.
In those sorts of games, it does help you for various reasons. It helps you remember certain things, like in the dungeon stuff. They will sometimes like change it up, like floor by floor or whatever, and it helps you remember the feel and everything you did when you were doing that dungeon. It's the same. It's just the opposite end of the scope. It helps to just be better. Like fast-paced music and yeah.
Zelda's always been a really good series with that because it's always sort of there's always something different. The game isn't just the same all the time. I mean, if you listen to like if you're in the forest temple, you hear sort of a woodsy percussion and flutes and stuff. But when you're in the maybe like the Temple of Time, there's a lot of echo. Makes it feel a lot bigger.
It helps to set the mood and the setting of the area, and even they complement each other very well.
And one of my favorite games ever, and it is Wind Waker, because if you listen, there are different islands, and when you get to say the first dungeon, which is Dragon Roost Island, you hear all these. It sounds very. It's very Central American. You hear a lot of castanets. You hear a lot of very light percussion, and I know I'm kind of gushing all about this, but because I write about music for Pittsburgh Music Magazine, I'm in this sort of I like to express my education on it. Yeah, and I think video game music is always good. I'm still of the camp that Banjo-Kazooie has one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard. And I actually wrote a community review about that soundtrack on Sputnik Music. So in between stuff like Deftones and what are all these other mainstream rock bands, I reviewed the Banjo-Kazooie soundtrack. And if you listen to something like that, Grant Kirkhope uses all of these. He doesn't use a huge range of instruments, yet he's able to make them sound incredibly different between themes, and that's so cool to me. There's a lot of versatility to it. Yeah, it's just the fact that he's able to, he's using like a saxophone in 4 different tracks, and they all sound different. Where'd Kat go? Did she disappear?
Yeah, she just sort of jumped out for a sec. Video game music is an interesting field that I want to get into sometime. I have no idea how to even get in there.
I mean, I have no interest in getting into the industry itself.
Oh, I make stuff on occasion.
If you
my friend makes things, I'm like, here's some music.
if you're curious, I know that there is a YouTube channel called Family Jewels, and he does electric guitar covers of a lot of game themes. I'm sure that we can add a link to this or something, but he does, and he plays the electric guitar, the lead electric guitar, the bass, and he does it with all these themes. He does everything from Sonic to Mario to Kingdom Hearts to, I think he did a Portal one, and he actually got contacted by a number of indie developers, and now he's making music for them. And he has his own band, and he teaches lessons. So he's like this, and he looks like this really young guy, and he's really, really good at it. So
Yeah.
it's great hearing it's great hearing something like Chemical Plant Zone from Sonic 2 played in this extremely metal sound. So I guess we're gonna move on.
It's nice to hear remixes sometimes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, go to OC Remix. Go to OC Remix. There's a bottomless pit of things to hear there.
I actually just wanted to have the next one lined up, so if you...
Well,
I've
been talking the whole time
I've got-
recording, so.
I've got we've kept the conversation going. We haven't been sitting in silence.
Yeah,
well,
we just sort of
unfortunately,
just
like, my nose
Was there anyone in the chat? Is there anyone in the chat who has something to say? I'm just curious.
Well, actually, he was the one who, was the one that was talking about the, amnesia music and the horror music. So,
Okay.
the
Next
quote that's,
question.
like, popping out at me says, "Kill the chickens!" Exclamation point,
Says
exclamation.
what?
Kill the chickens. We were talking about Legend of Zelda. So.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to die, 'cause they will come after you
I
and
know.
bury you.
My nose started really acting up, and I didn't want to be like on screen. On screen, so I was like,
Big
"Okay."
gross.
We won't care. We're not going to speak for everyone else. But
Right? Okay, so
point is, video game music is cool.
yes. it is.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
Absolutely.
Question: what is the most important to you in a game? And again, we're gonna start with Alex.
Oh man.
Well, it's time to think.
Graphics don't mean anything. And I can prove it, because if they did, no one would be playing any old games, and Tetris would be, nothing. No one would play Tetris ever if graphics actually meant something. And I think that some of my favorite games are the ones that are things like stuff from Platinum, which are like Bayonetta, Vanquish, games that really encourage you to do something. And, I like games like Skyrim and Assassin's Creed that have a lot of involvement in the world, but sometimes I just want to be rewarded for how I play. Like, if I'm playing really well, I want the game to say, hey, you did really, really good on this, so you get an A rank, or things like Devil May Cry. I like games that really just say, they give you, like, if you mess up, it's your fault. I like games like that. I don't want to feel cheated or anything like that. So I just like the gameplay, and I know that's a really sort of cop-out answer, but just being rewarded for your input, I guess.
Yeah, but on the same note, is it like achievement junkie?
Well, achievements are really hard to think of because you really don't know why why you're achieving something. A long time ago, I actually wrote something about gamer score and how the problem with that is that what is the score measuring? I mean, you can get just as many gamer score points playing a ton of really easy achievements that you would one really, really hard one.
Mm-hmm.
So gamer score is just, it's confusing because you don't know what it's measuring. Is it measuring your ingenuity to think outside the box? Is it measuring how dedicated you are to getting everything? And that's why I don't like gamer score. I think achievements are great because, they give you incentive to go back. I'm of the camp that says achievements are not required, because basically what achievements are is that the game developers are giving you stuff to do instead of you creating it yourself. That's kind of why I like games like Minecraft that don't give you any direction, and you're kind of forced to create your own challenges. And I like achievements, I like trophies, I like having sort of a more concise bulleted list of things that of accomplishments, but I don't think that they're required. And I think that, yeah, that's pretty much it. They're not required, they're just convenient to have.
Okay. David, what makes a game for you?
I think what makes the game for me is story with actual choice, not illusion of choice. Like, a lot of games add in, choices that it's like either you choose the right one or you die, or they add in choices that really go nowhere. Like, they make no difference whatsoever. Like, you could go back and make every choice differently and everything will still be exactly the same. Like, that is just BS. It doesn't work for me. So you need to have the great storyline, but it can't be just railroaded.
You don't want to have you don't want you to have to pick a choice and then you know what's going to happen.
Exactly. You want things to change.
That's why Skyrim and The Walking Dead Walking Dead's great at that. Definitely The Walking Dead, because you have no idea what's going to happen. It's a very ambiguous choice.
Things where like you make a wrong decision, somebody dies, and it affects the whole storyline because things are no longer there. It's great. But then you have other things that like they really just go make this choice. That's it. That's all you get. Just keep going that way, and you're just sort of watching it unfold rather than being a part of it.
Now, I'm not too familiar with this game series, but Mass Effect maybe? Like, I don't know how well they make the choice so dramatic, or if it's just...
That's BioWare games have a lot of criticism that I've heard of any sort of dialogue from a BioWare game is that you have three choices. You have the nice guy, you have the neutral guy, and then you have the asshole. That's really a lot.
The choices you make earlier on decide if you can make those decisions later, though, so they will prohibit or allow you to make different choices if you do something specific earlier on.
Okay.
So they have a mid ground there. Yeah, they're in a mid ground with that. Like, they don't just go, this is the only choices you can make. At the same time, it's not way too open.
That's why that's why morality systems are. I have a lot of problems with that in games like Fable and Infamous, because you just know. I mean, that's the thing. Yeah. You have a good or bad and nothing in between. And the interesting part about games like Skyrim and The Walking Dead is that there is no moral spectrum. You just have to decide and accept the consequences with what you did.
Yeah.
So, Mass Effect, not as much of an emphasis on morality. I mean, I'm not a fan of Mass Effect. I haven't played too many BioWare games enough to really get involved in it. But
so, my thing here is like they're kind of different, like complete different areas, because Skyrim does have its main story, but you have all this extra stuff you can do. If you're playing a game that has a beginning, middle, end story, and that's kind of it, you can't really go too far outside of the choices there.
Right.
Which is why they took that middle ground. But like Skyrim is great because you have this big open world, you have the main stuff, which you can be like, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna go do this stuff instead. Which again is great, but they're like apples and oranges kind of thing. They need to take the middle ground to have their story still be played out the way it's designed to play out. Okay. So like if you, it's a different system.
So which one do you rely on?
Do I prefer? I prefer the Skyrim style thing because it does have the in-depth story you can follow if you want to. But if I'm playing a game purely 100% for its story and no extra stuff, things like Mass Effect are great. So it depends what you want at the time. So if you want story with just endless options of choices, you need to go with something like Skyrim. If you want to just watch some epic tale unfold, you go with something like Mass Effect.
Okay.
I agree.
So, Jeremy, what makes a game for you?
Well, this is going to sound really simplistic, but I have to have fun while I'm playing it. I mean, if I'm bored or if I'm just doing nothing but getting frustrated over and over again, I'm not going to play it. And most of the time, by the fact that I have over 200 hours on Skyrim now, I like my RPGs. No doubt. I think I've played through Fallout 3 I don't know how many times, and I've played through the first games I don't know how many times. But sometimes a linear game can be fun. I mean, I've killed I don't know how many hours. We brought up Tetris earlier. I don't know how many hours I've killed with that game. It's like Assassin's Creed 3. I still haven't made it through it because I'm having too much fun coming up with creative ways to kill the British. Most of my family's Irish, so I figure that's fair. So yeah, at the end of the day, I just have to have fun with it. Graphics really don't matter to me. I do like more of an immersive game if I'm playing an RPG or something. And again, Skyrim was really good for that. Fallout was pretty good with that. I keep playing back through Vampire Bloodlines all the time because it's got so many fun choices and because playing as an Octavian is just hilarious. Yeah, pretty much I have to have a good time while I'm playing it. I don't play games to have a second job. I play games for entertainment and stress relief.
Now, do you think it might be something mechanic-wise that when you say like having fun in a game, is it the mechanics of the game that allow you to have fun, or is it a type of game that you seem to have more fun with?
Well, again, it kind of varies depending on what mood you're in. Yeah, because let's face it, the first Assassin's Creed game was hard. The mechanics of the gameplay was just, I wanted to pull my hair out. But I still had fun playing it because I got to, sneak around, and I guess I do tend to play a lot of stealth and sneaky games, but even then, I still spent, I don't know how many hours playing the Unreal Tournament, Unreal Tournament 2000, So, I don't think it's any one specific thing. I think it's a bunch of elements that just have to fit together, and I don't really know how to quantify it. Some games are just fun to play, some games are just frustrating. I'm trying to think of a good example of frustrating one, and I'm not coming up with it probably because I blocked them out.
But some games are frustrating, but people find fun in it, like a game like Demon Souls or Dark Souls, and I'm not against your answer at all. I'm pretty much thinking that fun is the easiest answer, but it's the hardest one to explain.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, that's what I said. This is going to sound really simple, but it's
not.
really not.
We're all after fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can't give you a formula of what.
Yeah, there's no formula for fun. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, there are some games that you would think I would love because this game's similar, this game's similar. So why wouldn't I like this other similar game? And I don't. Sometimes I can't put my finger on why. I've played MMOs where the controls were clunky and annoying, and I still loved the hell out of the game because it had a great story, or it had something in it that was neat that I just enjoyed doing. And then you'll have other games that the mechanics of the game work beautifully, and I would rather shove bamboo under my fingernails than play another minute of it. So it's really hard to qualify. Most of the time, though, I do enjoy a good stealth game, and I do enjoy a well-made RPG where I do have choices as to what I can do, what I can't do. Like Skyrim. Bloodlines was very linear in a way, but in other ways there were lots of little things that were fun that you could change, and sneak attack, stealth kill with a fire axe is just, you know.
Awesome.
So, I have a feeling
Yes,
I'm going to get a lot of hate mail for my next.
She's gonna say it has to be pretty.
I am.
It's like I'm psychic.
Because, okay, so going through the generations of games and what was considered top-notch graphics of its time, it's kind of like, I would think, for me, and, okay, I'm young, I will say, I remember Pokemon, like, Game Boy Color games, sitting through and being like, these graphics are amazing. And now, or let's go PlayStation 1 games, because I still actually play a lot of PlayStation 1 games. 8-bit, stuff like that, where I'm like, this was an amazing game. And I sit back now and I'm like, the likelihood of me playing an older game versus something now that is graphically demanding, that is pretty, that is like, I want to say the shiny of the modern games. I will most likely play that or give that a try before going through and being like, okay, so I heard this game had an amazing storyline, it had an amazing plot, and the graphics are kind of indie in a way. I will actually play the crap game with great graphics before I play the game with a great story.
Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of hate mail for that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna get.
Yeah, excuse me while I open my email box.
Cat loves the shiny, pretty things.
Go figure. But actually, I figured this one out recently, actually, because a lot of people told me to start playing Star Wars, the Old Republic MMO. They're like, it's. Which,
I didn't notice that until now.
Yeah,
Actually, I
Star
did.
Wars.
It's
They were
ironic
like,
since I have a NASA shirt on.
go play Star Wars. It has an amazing story. It has an amazing grind. You don't feel like you're like literally grinding to level in the game because you're so immersed in the story. I tried it and went, these graphics are worse than World of Warcraft. And I couldn't get out of the tutorial or the starting zone because I was finding myself more frustrated over how bad it looked than the gameplay. And I was like, what?
Your
And
theme
then,
song is seriously, do you want to date my avatar? Just a little.
hush.
It's kind of a come for the gameplay, stay for the graphics.
I'm the opposite. Like,
Yeah, Cat, you really like those graphics.
Yeah. Oh, well, there's nothing wrong with that.
that's why I've been playing
Now,
a lot
I'm-
of Final
now-
Fantasy. Like, there are games where I'm like, it doesn't matter how pretty it is, as long if I get frustrated as shit. Take Dark. The game just
Oh
dark.
my.
It was
Cool trick.
visually pretty. It was one of those games where I was looking at it going, I'll have a crap ton of fun playing this just from looking at a couple screenshots.
But you didn't.
Yeah.
It was so bad. I was like, oh my god, why did I pay more than $20 for this game?
You should
Why?
pay more than
Pay
5.
anything for it. Everyone hated that game. I swear, it got a ton of bad reviews.
It had a lot of potential, but it was. I was trying to think of
But they
an
fucked
example of frustrating a minute ago. There's my example. Thank you.
Well, the stealth mechanics were broken. I mean, you can't have respawning enemies in a stealth game.
Yeah,
Doesn't work.
But
Twitch.
I think that there is a difference between like retro graphics, like old school graphics, and just bad graphics. Bad graphics are I know maybe it's because I didn't experience it when it came out, but if you look at the PS1 Tomb Raider games, they look like garbage.
Oh,
All the text,
yes.
all the textures are like I feel like I'm looking at one of those annoying seeing eye puzzles where you gotta put it at the right angle and cross your eyes in order to see a picture of a sailboat or something.
Better yet, it's
Those-
Polygon from Pokemon.
It's what?
It's Polygon from Pokemon.
Polygon?
Polygon?
From Pokemon, yeah. You seriously
mean-
don't know
you
him?
mean-
He's like the
There's a
Picasso Pokemon
named
almost.
Polygon.
You mean the
Yeah.
Pokemon, which is
Yeah.
Porygon, right?
Yeah. Oh, Porygon?
Okay. It's
Wait.
Porygon. But if you
Porygon?
pronounce it in Japan, it's like Porygon. So it can't, the LR thing that
Oh,
they
okay.
translate all the time. I don't know. But I think that those are. But if you look at something like the old Super Mario World, that still has, you can see what it is. Okay, Cat's laughing at something. I'm trying to figure out what.
Chat
Cat.
says...
Do you have something to share with the class?
Chat says the ass on her, I imagine referring to Tomb Raider, was so sharp it could kill someone.
Okay, that's pretty funny, actually.
So you're saying that's an ass you would not want to tap?
Yeah,
At least not without a tetanus shot.
You lose
Get
a
a
hand
tetanus
during
shot,
that
then
one.
you're okay.
I think those old Polygon. I mean, even if you look at something like the very first Alone in the Dark game, it had some of the
Oh, I
most
remember that
polygonal animations you could ever think of. Yet it's one of the first survival horror games ever made,
Can you
but
still
it still
get
looks
that
like
game?
crap now. Oh, I'm sure you can find it
I've been
somewhere,
looking for
but
a
it's
copy
so
of it for
old.
years. Yeah,
I don't
good
know.
memories,
I'm
though.
sure you can find it somewhere.
Came on like
And I
12
think
CDs
that-
or something.
or something like that. I'm like, oh god, it looks so weird. If you look up screenshots of Alone in the Dark, it looks like Alpha .001.
Remember the first,
game.
was it Skyfox?
I think so, yeah.
Or
But I just think
Might
that
be the
if you
wrong
look
game.
at something, no, I don't know. But I'm thinking if you look at something like a Sega Genesis game like Sonic or even Super Mario World on Super Nintendo, those still have appeal. Because they don't hurt your eyes when you're looking at them. You know what they are because they're artistically stylized. And that's really what can make retro graphics appear newer, is if they're stylized.
Something I must say, though, thinking about that specifically, Nintendo has always done very well since
Oh, God,
even the
yeah.
beginning. Like, look at Pokemon 1999. Like, everything of that still kind of retained the same graphics as it does now.
A lot of games, Nintendo's really, really good at it. They're always able to add, if you look at even a game that was released just a few years ago, like Kirby's Epic Yarn, that is not a technically proficient game. That could run on any real system if it wanted to. But the way that it uses the yarn aesthetic or the fabric aesthetic, that's cool. It looks interesting. I think the same thing can happen with Wind Waker. I mean, I was of that camp that hated Wind Waker's graphics when you first saw them. It's like
I know I did.
where the
Like,
other
what the fuck is
where
this?
does good where the good Zelda go? What's this cartoon garbage? And then once you actually play the game and you see how when you defeat an enemy, the smoke kind of twirls up very artistically, and a lot of the enemy designs looked a little more cartoony, but they looked cool. And now I think that Wind Waker's aesthetic design is easily my favorite I've seen in Zelda so far. I mean, I like Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess and all that, but Wind Waker is just interesting, even
Actually,
though it's not realistic.
Star Fox is what I was trying to think of.
What is
And
it?
realism is a really
Star Fox is what I was trying
Go
to
ahead.
think of a minute ago. Sorry.
Yeah.
Star Fox. I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were talking about it was like Sly Fox or some other,
No.
I don't know, but yeah, Star Fox had lots of like very dated polygons like on the Super Nintendo, but
Well, it
Now,
was originally a prototype. It wasn't
yeah, I
a
mean,
full game, and it worked really well. So like, screw it.
let's make a series out of it.
now something
Yeah.
speaking of interesting graphics. One of my favorite games is one of those games that has that weird, interesting graphics. Okame. PlayStation
Oh god, I
2.
love Okami. You have no
I-
idea how much I love Clover. Clover Studios is amazing, and that's one reason why I love Platinum Games, because they're made up of people from Clover.
But that had
I mean,
interesting graphics.
I was gonna mention Beautiful Joe when I was talking about Platinum Games, but Okami is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. There's no way around it.
Yeah. And I mean, taking nowadays graphics, okay. They're the same. They're touching on realism. Okay. Now taking games like Okami, where it's like there's something there that's visually captivating. That's completely different to me in gameplay. Like, that is just 100% completely different. I actually got a Steam game. I think you actually touched on it earlier. That when I saw it, I saw the trailer of it, and I thought it was so visually captivating, and it was an indie game. And I was like, that is pretty. But it wasn't like the realism, high graphics, high end pretty as most people be like, graphics nowadays. No, I'm gonna
Well, what was the game?
I'm gonna upload my Steam no. There we go. I'm gonna get on Steam real quick and be like, this was the game. Because it was... Oh, no! I just took up the entire block for the chat to be like, here's my Steam. It was... Nihilumbra.
Nilhumbra or something like that?
Yeah.
That sounds like a horror game name. Or maybe I'm thinking of something else.
How,
That sounds... I've heard of that game, and I think a friend of mine played it. But I know what you're talking about. And the indie developers are the ones who are really doing well with making games artistically designed as far as the graphics go. They're really good at that.
yeah. Yep, that's the one. Because literally the thing that it says is discover the beautiful world of so-and-so. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. It was definitely one of those things where I was just like, this is beautiful and unique in a artistic way. Chat says, as far as graphics goes, I will go with Crysis 3.
Really, Crysis? I mean, I remember when the first Crysis came out, and everyone was like, this is a PC pusher. This is where you're going to need a really powerful PC to run. And now it can run on, like, any PC. That happened with, like, Half-Life 2 and all that stuff. It was just, this is what we'll put... And Doom 3 and all these games, like, you're going to need the best computer ever to run these things. And then, years later, you're like...
You know?
Crysis 3 just I don't like games that embrace realism too much because you're tying yourself down. I think if you're able to make things too realistic, you're making yourself bound by realism's rules and you're not able to experiment. That's why Okami is so interesting because it's fantasy, so they're able to color outside the lines more. But if you like Crysis 3, okay.
See, I have to say, I did play Crysis, like, when it first came out, and I didn't really think the graphics were all that great. Now, keep in mind, this was the first one. This was, like, right when you said this was the PC pusher. I was like,
yeah.
really? like Crisis 1? Really? And then actually looking at Crisis 3, I can understand having like ultimate graphics and you have to put it on ultra mode and it's pretty.
I just
Don't
don't
get me
like
wrong.
I just don't like the gray brown games where
Oh.
people think real making them look
Well,
like that.
there's sometimes it's good to go to that, like because it's different than everything else. But I actually kind of hated the gameplay in Crisis. I can't finish even the first one. I'm like this. I can't stand it. I don't like. No, just no. Just meh.
Okay.
I mean, there are shooters that mix up their aesthetic design. That's what, yeah,
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
like Far Cry. Far Cry is a good example of
Yeah,
a
it's a
shooter
good
that
one.
kind of isn't just gray brown. You're on an island and it's exciting. So
Next
actually,
question.
I was gonna say this question actually
we're,
kind of
we're discussing this. We're discussing all this because Kat loves graphics a
Sure.
lot. She really.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I think.
Nothing
We're trying
wrong
to
with
avoid
good
the hate
graphics.
mail.
We're not weeding you out. We'll let the chat do that.
Thanks.
That's their job, anyways.
Right.
Yeah, that's what the internet's for.
The hate mail I'm going to get.
All right. Oh, whatever.
I love you guys. I love you. Butter them up before I get all that hate mail.
It's like she only cares about graphics. Unsubscribe. No, don't unsubscribe. Subscribe again. If you want
not
to
take any
unsubscribe,
and
just
subscribe on that one.
yeah, just
you have
if you
two
want to
subscriptions.
unsubscribe, just unsubscribe, get it out of your system, and then resubscribe because you made your point. So.
Yes.
Right.
Stay subscribed.
So, with the topic of, newer stuff, okay, what games are you excited for that are coming out this year?
Oh, so many.
So,
So many.
yes, we'll
Do I
go
have to
in
be
line.
specific?
Alex.
Yeah. Well, I am excited about Bayonetta 2. I mean, I've already expressed my unreserved support of anything Platinum Games will ever release, but because I really have never been. I haven't been.
Loud.
Yeah, what was that?
Sorry, that was my tablet.
It's a mistake.
being silly.
Okay.
Apparently, I have an email.
I've never been disappointed by anything Platinum Games has made thus far. It's all been good. I am excited about Infamous Second Son to come out later this month. I don't know. I'm sure there's more, but I don't know. A lot of like new Smash Brothers, I guess, but a lot of the stuff that I'm excited for is the stuff that's sort of indie or like a Jonathan Blow's the Witness looks interesting to me. There's not much AAA stuff aside from Nintendo IPs that I'm super excited about. Everything else just kind of looks. Nah, maybe it's because of these next-gen consoles don't really appear to be next-gen consoles to me. They just look just a step up. Maybe it's because my involvement in PC gaming is making me sort of a console snob, but
Well,
I don't know.
it
It's
should,
more like-
because the next gen consoles are like what 2 year ago PCs.
yeah, they're trying to be PCs, but
Yeah.
and I think that it's really just the exclusives that I have these consoles for because all the multi-platform stuff I can play on PC now, and I can play a lot more.
I gotta admit, I bought
That's
the
why
Xbox 360
that's why I like
just to play
Nintendo.
Halo.
That's why I like Nintendo. Yeah, that's why I like Nintendo so much because their exclusives are the most interesting to me.
Mm.
So it's really Bayonetta 2, Smash Bros, and Infamous, I guess. I'm sure there's more, but I can't think of any more right now.
David.
Next up, Mr. David.
So I'm kind of looking forward to, again, it's already out. I want it to be finished. 7 Days to Die. It's really cool. I mean, we mentioned it briefly, I think, last week.
Not
You know,
so
it's sort of
briefly.
Daisy, Minecraft, awesomeness. I really want to play Watch Dogs. That hasn't come out for Australia yet.
Oh
as
man,
far
I
as
forgot
I'm
Watch
aware.
Dogs. I'm gonna be reminded of all the ones
Yeah.
later.
I know, right?
looks cool.
Like, so excited to play that. It looks freaking amazing. If it comes out on PC, I'm definitely getting it for that.
I'm sure it will. It has to.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot that want to be exclusive, and I don't have consoles anymore, so I'm like, let's see. A game that already came out that I'm still looking forward to playing is Remember Me. I think that came out last year, sometime during the middle.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah, it was
want
that.
to play that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, don't tell me anything. I want to play it. Games I'm looking forward to. I don't know. There's too many just to name at this point. I'm kind of looking forward to all of them that are coming out that have been announced in advance. That's my answer. Too many. All of them.
All of them.
Yes, all of them.
Things.
Yes,
All
all
the
the things
releases.
with emphasis on the first two I mentioned.
Okay.
Some Days to
Jeremy.
Die and Watch Dogs.
Any games? You are.
Well, I would agree with 7 Days to Die. I'm still kind of hoping ESO is good. Like, I've only gotten to do one beta weekend, so I don't know. Beta is beta. Things can change a lot, for better or for worse. So I'm still kind of hopeful that's going to be okay when it comes out. I honestly just have a lot of games, especially on my Steam account, that I haven't played yet, that I need to get through before I worry about new ones.
Yeah,
Still
your
need to
Steam
play-
pile.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I still need to play through the sequel to Stalker. I still need to play through the Penumbra games. I need to finish the Stanley Parable at some point. It's just a silly little game, but it's fine. You know, and I've probably still got another couple hundred hours to put in on Skyrim.
There's always more time for Skyrim.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I haven't actually gotten to play any of the other Elder Scroll games, so I need to try and fix that at some point. So it's kind of... I usually don't play games when they first come out, with a couple of exceptions, like the Assassin's Creed
Right.
games. I've mostly got just a huge pile of games that I love, and looking at it, apparently I like survival horror or horror-based games. Just looking at what I have on here, 1953, Call of Cthulhu Dark Corners, Light, Eldritch, which is more of a chibi game, but...
It doesn't really help that a lot of these indie horror games are usually free. Like,
Yeah. Or very inexpensive and very good
Yeah.
for what you're paying.
right.
Like, the Stalker games were great, or at least the one was. I just have to be careful how much I play it because I get nauseous from the way it moves. I still have to play through Slender the Arrival. I haven't gotten to that one yet.
I haven't played any of the Slender games. I've watched people play
Well,
them, but I haven't played any of them yet.
This is my opinion, and they're not as good as you think.
Okay, then.
From what I've seen, it's very, very jump scare intensive, and once you get accustomed to the jump scares, the thing is anytime you can't go near him, you can't go near Slender, or he'll end your game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's more annoying than scary. I mean, it's okay. It's just not. Some people said it was like, oh, you know, this is the next big horror game, and it really isn't.
Yeah. And I guess I need to get Amnesia.
It is kind of interesting. Yeah.
Or the second Amnesia game.
Yeah, the machine for pigs.
Mm-hmm.
Machine for Piggly Wigglies.
Well, I really want to get hold of a level builder for that, because I'm not in a situation where I can work on or build haunted houses anymore, and I missed that job. So This is a way I can kind of do it through video games.
That's really cool. How you can kind of make your own haunted house, I guess.
Well, the last haunted house I
Good
would
outlet.
the storyline was a mix of Jack the Ripper and H.P. Lovecraft. So, it seems like it's right up the alley.
Yeah.
So something I realized, because I was like, you know what, I'm going last. I have time to actually Google or research the games that are coming out this
isn't
year.
That's
I know you're
totally
excited
fair.
for Mario Golf, because I did the exact same thing.
Well,
That's totally fair, Kat. That's totally fair.
so realizing
No shame.
there actually there isn't really any games that I'm anticipating. Like besides the classic, like there's always a game series. It doesn't matter what year it comes out, whether it's like this year or next year, I'm still gonna sit there and wait for it. And it's the Kingdom Hearts series, which I am anticipating beyond anything. Because I'm actually hoping that I don't have to buy a new PlayStation to play the third Kingdom Hearts. But they're probably gonna be
Don't worry,
jerks.
you will.
They're probably gonna be jerks and be like, you have to buy the new PlayStation 4 to
Probably.
play Kingdom Hearts 3. It's like,
Well, here's the good news. By the time Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, which is going to be way down the line, both consoles will probably have a price drop.
yeah, that's true. That is
Really?
true. But
Secondhand ones will be available by then.
of course, the
But it looks
Assassin's
like
Creed-
an interesting. It looks cool.
Yeah, oh yeah.
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 Like the footage. Okay, so here's the question. Like, my head is still trying to wrap around this. They're like, we are currently in production of this game. Okay. However, as many videos as I've seen at this point of like Japanese releases, like for Japan's like big gaming convention, they had a 2-minute long trailer of the gameplay of Kingdom Hearts 3. And I was like, how are you telling me this is still going to take another year? Like,
Because they hate you.
they do.
They're trying to get in all that extra hype.
Yeah. I honestly think
Yeah.
a lot of the games coming out, they do that. They're like, how much hype can we give this game? The game's done, but how much hype can we get behind it? Like, oh my god, the hype for
Right.
Titanfall. I am so tired of hearing about the hype for Titanfall. Like, and that's in the commercial. If you look at the commercial for Titanfall, they're like, oh, I forget what the exact quote is, but it is like, listen to
This
the
is the
hype.
ultimate next-gen experience or something.
And I'm like, seriously? Okay, whatever. But, so Assassin's Creed series, I always wait for with bated breath, and Kingdom Hearts. And those are the only two games that I actually sit and wait for. Because Steam kind of ruined that for me. Because a lot of times I'm just like, I just buy what's on sale. And a lot of the time the gameplay, I'm not like, oh hey, this is coming out in a week, I'm interested in this game. I'm just like, what is on sale this week? So, that is unfortunately my take on newer games.
That and they don't have pretty enough graphics.
I like, yeah, hush you. Hush.
No,
Gotta have the pretty.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, that is interesting that you're not
You
interested
seriously
in
are.
new games much when you love graphics.
I know, I know. It has to look pretty.
you're a Toreador, admit it.
I
She's not
know.
gonna be interested until she sees the pretty graphics.
That is true. That is true. Wow, we like hit a lot of types of like. Was it all video games this time around?
Seems to
swear.
be.
I think we kind of already covered this. What is your favorite type of game? We'll run through this really
We
quick
covered
and then
that.
pull a sixth one.
Yeah, we did cover that.
Yeah.
So we'll run through it like really quick.
I want to play Mario
Okay
Golf.
then.
Mario Golf.
I like platform.
It was
I like
on the
platformers.
list.
That's all I gotta say.
It was on the list of 100 most anticipated games of 2014.
Oh,
Because I wasn't spending my time looking.
Adventure
Okay.
games for me.
okay. Actually, if I
Adventure.
actually had to pick a type of game that I like, it's usually RPGs. I love my RPGs and hack and slash, like Devil May Cry, Darksiders, hack and slash. Yes.
What about hack and slash RPGs like Kingdom Hearts?
Exactly. Perfect. The best combination.
Well, that's a great series. I love playing Kingdom Hearts. So.
I have the tattoo
Can't
on the back
argue
of my
with that.
neck.
Oh, dedication.
Totally.
That's the and then you're a true fan.
I do actually have the heart on the back of my neck. So I'm not gonna like maneuver and be like, here. Oh wait, maybe I should.
Yeah, I was afraid you were gonna do that.
Maybe I should.
Well, you don't have to. But then you can't see the screen, so you don't know if you're showing it right because you're turned the other way. I don't know. That's really cool.
Yeah, it is pretty good. That must have been painful in that spot.
Now the question is,
I should just start playing the Dearly Beloved theme. You hear dun dun dun.
You know what's funny, though?
dun. What's funny?
Yeah.
I didn't have that full screen on stream, so I have to do it again. So people can actually see it, because someone was like, hey, you have a tattoo. We didn't see it. You were a small screen.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. Okay.
Turn around.
Okay. Now, could you actually see it?
We
I
could.
saw it the first
Okay.
time.
I don't know. I'm just gonna be like, look, I'll take a picture of it and send it on Twitter or something.
Yeah.
later.
Later.
How do you take a picture of the back of your neck? You hold the camera like this.
Yes.
Mirrors. Just
Yeah,
like in Magic, it's all done with
mirrors.
mirrors.
So we're
And
gonna
white
go ahead and
feathers.
pick another topic and substitute that
All
for
right.
5. I'm like mixing it up really well because there's like a lot of new ones and like the old ones, so I'm like, let's mix this up really good.
Gotta get him in there.
Use the topic hat.
The topic hat. Okay, wait, I have two. I have two and I'm not looking. Okay. Hey, someone now is playing Terraria. I should probably close Steam on my computer. Except
Well, I thought you were going to say I should probably
Bad.
stop the podcast and just go play Terraria with him.
yes.
It's like, screw you guys, this is Terraria time.
Seeing
I
that
really should play that game.
two of our favorite things on this week's topic has been games, of course, and horror
Yeah.
games. So our topic is actually Halloween. Not
Can't imagine
anything
you
else.
put that one in the hat.
I know, right? Just Halloween. And I want to start this off by saying, Carthnell, do you have Halloween and trick-or-treating in Australia?
Okay. Yes, but not like you guys have. Here, it's kind of weird. Like, at least in Sydney, you have, small, like, streets will do some stuff. Parents are, like, binocular watching their kids. They're afraid of people getting kidnapped and shit. There's a lot of, like, stigma around it, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better. Like, it's not very good. Like, I remember when I was a kid, my mom used to have to, like, send letters to all of the houses to make them do it, because it's like, my kids want to do it. Like, they just don't give a fuck.
Send letters to the houses.
Yeah.
You must go.
It was like
Sounds terrible.
Yes. It was like,
you need to
I don't
sign
wanna-
this notarized document.
You're not going to destroy
And then we have
my
to get
children.
3 or 4 lawyers to help.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, like, parents always, before kids ever get in the candy, they check through everything, make sure it's all sealed, and there's no, like, random stuff in there. I mean, there's news stories all over the place
Oh.
how people put stuff in the candy, and it's like, drugged or something.
It's like
I
that
don't know.
Ego Raptor cartoon. It's like that Ego Raptor cartoon.
Yeah. I so badly just
This
like
tiny
1
speck
year.
of dust. This tiny speck
have
of
to
dust
go.
could be the residue of a drilling device used to inject anthrax into this candy.
Exactly. Like 1 year, I have to come like to America and just see this because like I've heard so many stories about
Yeah,
like
we'll
how
put
like,
anything in our
entire
candy.
neighborhoods, yeah. It's just like here, have all of this
Like, we'll
awesome
give-
stuff.
We'll give you whatever we have. You
Yeah.
can get anything, and we'll give you a lot of candy.
More
like
popular
big-
here.
Big handfuls of candy and
Yeah.
king-size Snicker bars.
What's
Kat, what
more
are you
popular
eating?
here
Candy.
is the
To
individual
celebrate
the
Halloween
Halloween topic.
party.
To celebrate
what
the
I was saying
Halloween
was-
topic, I am eating
Yeah, totally.
chocolate.
That looks expensive. That looks like expensive chocolate.
It actually is. It's like $5 a bar. Expensive chocolate.
Must be nice. Anyway, so what I was saying, people here tend to have more like close-knit parties, like as adults. The kids don't get to experience it very much, but as adults, they'll have like, a themed party where people will come dressed up as something, and that'll be the thing, and people drink and have fun and whatnot. That's pretty much all that goes on here.
So 2
Small
out of
groups
4
of
of
that.
us is eating candy for the Halloween topic.
If I had
Candy's
candy,
over on the other
would
side of the
eat it.
room.
Blame her. She made me hungry.
Wait,
I'm poor.
I have Jolly
can't
Rancher.
afford it.
That's really all the candy I have with me right now. I want Twix bar. I wish I had a Twix bar.
It also brings up like I want to try a whole lot of the, like American like candy and stuff that we just don't know even exists over here.
Like
If
what?
I could,
I
if
gotta
I could
try some of that stuff.
smuggle some through customs, I would totally send it to you. But my luck, they would be like, "No, this isn't going to Australia."
Well,
I thought Kat
Yes.
would have sent the candy to you, but she would have taken all the things that she likes.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
you would just get the
It's-
leftovers.
it's not so much a customs issue because there are a couple stores here that have them and whatnot, but they're just so out of the way. And countries are very much that way. They're like they know a brand, they stay with the brands. There's no point importing the other stuff. Most,
Some candy is better than others. I mean,
yeah.
um,
Okay, so on the topic
or,
of Halloween,
yeah.
what is your favorite candy?
Oh, that wasn't
Alex?
that wasn't our Halloween discussion.
It could
Wait,
be
you just
now.
asked the question that we were already discussing.
Hey,
Kat
the
just-
hat did it last week.
Okay, well, favorite candy?
Mhm.
Huh. I'm a sucker for Skittles
Skittles,
and
really? Skittles?
Starburst and yeah, I like Skittles. You sound shocked by that. Like, why in the
I
world would you
am.
like Skittles?
Why in the world would you like Skittles?
Cat's being judgmental.
Because he likes the taste of rainbows. If you don't
Maybe
know,
I do.
their slogan is "Taste the Rainbow." Just say.
I
Something like that might not know
I
the
do like Skittles. I like Skittles and I like Starburst, but if I had to choose like a candy bar, it would always be Twix because I'm one of those weirdos who doesn't like just pure chocolate. It has to have like either caramel or peanut butter or nougat or something like that. And I like Twix. There are 2 reasons that I like Twix. First of all, it has like the cookie in them, so it kind of has a crunch to it. Kat, what are you laughing at?
I snorted.
Why are you laughing at me, Kat?
I'm
Kat
not
always laughs
laughing
me.
at you, actually. I'm laughing at the fact that I just looked over to chat and it said, I like anthrax injected candy.
Okay, well they can have it. I'm going to have the safe candy. They can have it, whatever. But the second reason that I like Twix is because it gives you the illusion that there is more because there are 2 of them.
Oh, yeah.
I know that's a stupid reason, but I get this idea like, oh my god, there's 2 in them. I'll have a lot more candy to share, and like I know that they're really small, but I like Twix.
The ultimate candy bar that does that is Kit Kats.
And I don't like Kit Kats that much because it's just chocolate wafers.
Get off my channel!
Go figure, the cat likes Kit Kats.
Oh, it works. Oh my god, it's a joke. Kit Kats are okay. It's not like I don't like them. It's just that they're just chocolate and wafers, really. And it kind of feels a little not as rich, I guess. I don't know.
How many of
but
these
there are a lot of them.
do you have in Australia, David? Like, out of what we were just talking about.
Australia?
Like, what do you have in Australia?
I'm very curious by this. Like Australian chocolate.
Well, he's talking, but there's no
Sound.
sound.
How about
Patience,
now?
he's broadcasting from Australia.
Okay.
I found this button. It does things. Right. So apparently, right. So nothing with peanut butter in it. I've never seen any chocolate and peanut butter stuff. Never tried that before. It's interesting, maybe.
You should.
Yeah, you should get a Reese's or something.
As Kit Kats go, so far it's just been like the plain, and then they've recently brought out like dark and white chocolate ones. I haven't tried any of those. Normal stuff you get here is like fruit and nut, hazelnut, almond, and then you sometimes get something with like a jelly sort of thing in the middle of it. It's kind of it. Occasionally you find something with caramel.
So
It's very...
what is their hatred with peanut butter and chocolate?
There's
Yeah,
no
peanut
hatred,
butter's
just
awesome.
nobody knows about it. It's just not a thing.
What is this peanut butter? What is this?
Yeah. Like, our
What is
peanut
peanut
butter is
butter?
also different as well. Like the craft peanut butter, it apparently just tastes completely different. Like, for a while there, they started using pine nuts instead of peanuts, and it tasted horrible. Then they changed it back. Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a Vegemite
But
joke
I'm
in here
told
somewhere,
it's-
but
I was about to be like, do you have Vegemite candy?
I'm getting to that. Yes, there are.
Oh,
Um,
no.
you know, like, I've been told you guys have like peanut butter cups and stuff.
Mhm.
Vegemite.
Yeah, we do.
Vegemite.
Vegemite cups.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so that's Vegemite and chocolate?
Nope. Just Vegemite. Just
Wait, so-
Vegemite and like something to eat it with.
Vegemite and chocolate sounds interesting.
No, it's just like Vegemite and then like a little spoon or a cracker or something. Like very plain. So all
That's
you
not
taste is
candy.
Vegemite.
Oh, so it's like how we
She
sell
asked a
Nutella.
question about Vegemite. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is Nutella, but Nutella's not candy.
Yeah,
Good.
but
Chocolate
think
and
about
it
how they
counts.
sell the Nutella now. It's like part of it has the Nutella in it, and the other part has
Yeah.
like something to dip it with.
I
Yeah,
swear,
like
Nutella
that.
is like catching on big time these days. It's like a frickin' hit.
Wait, David,
How
do you
long
have
has it been
Nutella?
over there for? Yeah, for like fucking ever.
Wait,
been here
isn't
forever.
that peanut butter or something?
No, here
Hazelnut.
it's just-
Nutella's
it's
hazelnut
just
spread.
Hazelnut, yeah, that's
Oh.
it. Yeah.
Hazelnut spread, chocolatey
Yeah.
goodness. Put it on the bread.
So like, Australian chocolates is like hazelnut basically. It's hazelnut everything. Everything has hazelnut in it.
So instead of hazelnut, it's Vegemite.
Yeah. No, she just asked a question about Vegemite, so I'm like, yeah, we do have it, but it doesn't go with that sort of thing because it's not that sort of taste. It's not a candy taste. You know.
I
It-
hear
it's a-
that's
it's a
very
big-
unique, even to Australia.
It is, yeah. Yep. It's not something you can have a lot of. It's great. It has like a massive kick to it, but if you eat like more than like a couple pieces of toast or something, it's just too much and it starts to taste kind of weird. So don't overdo the Vegemite.
Moral of this podcast: do not overdo Vegemite.
Don't
It'll make
overdose
things
on
seem
Vegemite.
kind of weird. Yeah.
this is an intervention.
Yeah.
This is a Vegemite intervention.
Australians everywhere beg you, don't overdo it.
You have like PSAs, like, this is your mind on Vegemite.
This is your-
No, it's great. Like, you know, to be completely serious here, like if you have like an ulcer or something, you just rub a little bit on it. It goes away in like an hour or so. It's great. It stings like a bitch.
This
but
this
it'll be gone.
conversation began about candy and Halloween, and now we're talking about putting Vegemite on ulcers.
It works. It's great. It stings so badly, but it's like, oh yeah, it goes. It's fine. Tastes great, too.
So now you're going to start seeing Vegemite in your first aid kits when you go to Australia.
Oh.
First aid kit. Forgot the Vegemite.
Cat has officially died.
Get it like an easy cheese quarter thing.
See, I remember when I would do
podcasts. By the way,
when I would do
can't get it
podcasts
in that.
before, we would name our podcasts after something stupid we said in the cast, and if we did that, this would be put Vegemite on your ulcers. Or this is your mind on Vegemite or something.
It should just be what Aussies do with Vegemite. There you go.
Vegemite.
Yeah, we better
Perfect.
stop. Oh my god. Cat,
can
don't
start
have a heart
circulating
attack.
rumors if you like.
It's funny, but...
I could make up some shit
I
real
like
quick
it.
if you like.
You know what? Forget it. Forget the candy conversation.
Pull a
We're going
question
to
out
talk
of the hat.
about
Let's keep
Vegemite.
going. Ask me the questions. You know.
Has everybody answered the candy one? I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think I did, but
Pretty sure.
I don't care.
Yeah, Jeremy, how about you go and try to calm Cat down because she thinks
Wasn't
that's
his answer
funny.
running off to go candy?
Well, I mean, razor blade
Candy,
flavored raisinets
yeah,
are
candy.
always good. No. See, I like peanut butter in most of my candy. Like, I love Reese's Cups. I love peanut butter fudge. I love peanut butter to make cookies, but I can't eat them anymore. You know, just peanut butter.
So looking at Cat's
love.
picture.
Yeah, Cat's still reeling
Do you
from
have the
that.
vapors? Do you have the vapors?
She's still thinking about Vegemite. That's all she's thinking about.
I bet you I could go to my cupboard right now and find like a giant thing of Vegemite too.
This is going to be a running joke for our podcast.
Next week it's just gonna be, instead of my picture, it's just gonna be Vegemite.
Okay. All right. But to put this back on topic, I agree with Jeremy that peanut
Yeah.
butter candy is good.
I'm gonna have to try this sometime because I like peanut butter and I like candy, so you know, meld them together.
Reese's Cups are great. If
Yeah.
they made peanut butter Kit Kat, I would eat them all the time. Because,
You could just dip the Kit Kat in peanut butter.
but that would be work. I don't want to work. It sounds like so much work. Or you could dip it in Vegemite.
No, that would be disgusting. Chocolate and Vegemite do not go
I
together.
know.
There.
And of course, I completely side rolled the topic. I hate peanut
Yeah.
butter.
There you go.
Why do you
That's
hate
fine.
peanut butter?
I don't know. I just
Because she's weird.
Well, peanut butter's not such a fan of you either. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, actually, I
You-
don't like peanut
Oh.
butter candies. I do not like Reese's Cups.
Well,
like,
why not?
can't stand them.
That's okay. Just send them over my way.
That's fine.
I'll eat all of your peanut butter.
Yeah.
all
I
the
actually,
peanut
I
Turn you
don't,
off peanut butter for a little while.
I don't know.
Well, what is your favorite, Kat?
anything
What's your favorite candy?
dark chocolate or Kit Kats? Like, I like something that has a little bit of a chocolate flavor. Not too much of, like, a chocolate flavor. Or I like...
Do they make dark chocolate Kit Kats?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is
Oh,
82%
well, that must be right up Kat's alley.
like
Wow.
dark chocolate.
Scharfenbarger.
So,
Dark chocolate makes me kind of sick.
I know a lot of people are. I know a lot of people don't like dark chocolate because it's very bitter, and they like milk chocolate more.
see, I don't
So
like
you-
the
do
sweet.
you like? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't like the really sweet stuff. So, like, if it's candy that has a chocolate base to it, it, like you said, has to be something that's like mixed with something else. So
Yeah.
like, mainly Kit Kats, because they don't have like a bold chocolate or candy sweetness. You have that wafer that kind of cuts out. I'm not like a huge...
It's a little drier. The wafer kind of is a little bit more fibrous, so
Yeah.
it cuts down on the sweet.
I can't do Snickers. Like, as soon as, like, I bite into a Snickers, there's too much, like, it's too sweet. Like, immediately just too sweet. So, I don't know.
Caramel.
I'm weird. I don't like peanut butter because peanut butter is also really sweet to me.
Someone should mix
Speaking of
peanut butter and dark chocolate. I wonder what that would taste like.
They have dark chocolate Reese's Cups. And they
Yeah,
also have
I'm
white
curious how
chocolate
that
Reese's
would
Cups.
taste. Yeah, I've had the white chocolate. I didn't know they had dark chocolate though.
Uh-huh. I've seen them somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure I know that they're making a lot of different candy bars and dark chocolate varieties now.
It's supposed to be healthier for you.
I feel
Yeah,
like
that's what I've
gamers
heard.
know about
Fuck.
their candy.
Yeah.
They should make Nutella candy bars.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be interesting. That would be
It'd
interesting.
be delicious.
So, unfortunately, we have hit our 5 topics for today and the 2-hour mark. So,
That's convenient.
I know, right? We're just kind of like,
I think we hit more than 5 topics.
no, we hit,
I-
well,
I think we derailed.
Well, we got off
into
on a lot of
few
tangents. We
Yeah.
started talking about
Yeah.
we
more
started talking
tangents than
about
a trig
horror
class.
games and Vegemite. Horror games and Vegemite.
right. So,
Although
unfortunately,
if someone made a horror game about Vegemite,
oh dear God.
It almost writes itself.
okay,
That would just make me hungry.
almost. Yeah, you wouldn't run away. You'd go after it.
I still
like,
want
"Come
Let's
here,
Play
Vegemite."
videos. I still want Let's Play videos of Almir playing horror survival games. I think those would be hilarious.
It will never
Yes,
They would
happen.
be.
It
Why
needs
not?
to.
It'd be awesome.
Too much of the freaking out, probably.
Well, it would be awesome for everyone except her.
Sure.
I give it an hour.
She would be.
Really? That long?
You know what, though?
I was
I
gonna
give-
give
okay.
10
Freak
minutes.
out.
Yeah.
Might get heaps of people.
I give it an hour until I crawl into specifically that corner and bawl my eyes out and start screaming and just like mine
Like
just
rocking
melts.
back and forth.
You better hope that
Everyone,
there's not
go
a
on
spider
Steam
or
and
a
gift
stink
her
bug.
every survival horror game that they have
Let's
on
see,
Steam. Everyone go on Steam, gift her horror games. She'll love
Stalker,
it, and she'll play
Penumbra,
it.
Amnesia, Cthulhu, Dark Corners of the Earth. Where's my wish list? There's some other good ones.
I'll play
Don't
Alice
listen to
Madness
Kat.
Returns. There you go.
That's not a horror game. It's a platformer. It's not bad.
Fear, Condemned Criminal Origins.
Oh god, Fear's scary. It's like if you hate creepy Japanese girls. Whatever, I don't know. What was her
That
name?
is like
I
the
forgot
bane
the
of
girl's
my
name.
existence. When it hits horror, that like creepy Japanese girls is the bane of my existence.
What was I'm trying to remember the name of the girl from Fear. It's like Saga. I don't know.
I have no idea. It's
Is
too
it the
long.
same
Here,
girl
here.
from The Ring?
I don't
No,
think so.
no.
It's probably the
It's
same
like
kind of
something
thing.
that ends in the letter A or something.
That's real
Alma.
specific.
Alma. That's it. It's Alma. Alma.
I'm going to
So,
stick
guys,
with
remember-
my happy-go-lucky fuzzy pink bunnies.
Remember to gift her
Assassinating people. You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
No
she'll
more
play.
horror.
I'm going to hate you guys if there's seriously like 20 horror games sitting in my Steam inbox.
You're getting free games. Come on, how can you be mad
Games
about
I won't
that?
play.
And they're not bad games. They're just scary games.
No, you could always start off easy, like a multiplayer one, like The Hunted. It's like what, Half-Life 2 mode or something. That's fun, especially when you're playing The Hunted. You
Yeah,
get
but
to
don't
freak
play
people
Cry
out.
of Fear. Cry of Fear is full of jump scares, so don't play that.
The old AVP game.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I could never
the
play
newest
that game
Alien vs
with
Predator
Alien.
games.
I got so sick.
I love playing as the alien. So freaking awesome being able to just jump around all the walls and stuff. Oh my
I
god,
got
so much
so
fun.
Alien
sick.
versus Predator. Alien versus Predator, good. Aliens, Colonial Marines.
Yeah, fuck that. I remember playing Alien vs Predator with my friends. Like, how does this alien work? I'm like, all right, I'll just go to Alien. You guys go Predator. It's like 5-on-1. I'm killing them every time, just the entire team. I love that
Oh.
game so much. No one wants to play it with me anymore. It's been a
If I
while.
had it, I might. I don't know. But okay, no horror games for Kat because she doesn't want to play them.
At some
Yeah.
point...
Unless they're a pretty one.
Okay, find me a pretty horror
Oh
game.
yeah.
Anything
Fear
with
has
Hello Kitty
pretty
in it?
impressive graphics.
That counts as a horror game, right? If nothing else, it'll match your room.
What is it?
Hello Kitty, that qualifies as like a horror game, right?
That is a horror game. Yes.
And it would match your room.
Scariest ever. Oh, throwing shots.
Oh god. I'm done.
Yeah. Peace
Did you
out.
just press
We
the
don't know.
table?
Does her love of good graphics outweigh her disapproval of horror games? Let's find out.
Let us.
Are there-
we should
Are there
actually
any
figure
graphical
this one
intensive
out.
ones? Are there any graphic intense ones, like at all? They're all kind
Well,
of
I'm sure. I mean,
bland.
I mean,
Fear was
graphics-wise.
pretty graphic intensive back there. But since
Yeah.
all the AAA developers aren't making good horror games anymore, it's mostly the indies.
Yeah.
Now keep in
It's
mind,
like,
it's
they're
not
looking for
graphic
shinies.
intensive that I enjoy. It's
yes.
the pretty graphics.
Okay. The
Okay.
Okay. shiny and the pretties. I don't know if
shiny
there
and
is
the
many of
pretties.
those. Yeah.
Okay.
so what we need is a game full of fluffy bunnies, and you're just playing along, and then suddenly a monster pops out of the ground and eats you.
Or you know,
Yeah, exactly.
Bunny turns into something creepy.
It's only a mushroom.
Somebody out there, make this game.
I'm sure someone already has.
Just have to find it.
Yep.
Yeah, we keep getting off on tangents.
But
We've
on
had
that note,
way
guys-
more than 5 topics today.
This has been the second episode of Slash Chat Podcast, and it's every week Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on twitch.tv/AmirMiel. The entire podcast will be recovered on YouTube, so go check that out. And until next time, guys, have a good one.
See you
Alright.
later.
See ya.